Since 1961, Quartz Plumbing has offered friendly, reliable service to residences all over Bergen County, New Jersey. We are a fourth-generation family-owned business, unmatched in customer satisfaction and professionalism while working in your home. We are the hydronic heating and water filtration specialists, with a workmanship guarantee to put you at ease so you can rest comfortably. We offer financing for those big projects that catch you off guard, and we have a network of excellent contractors in all fields for any project you wish to tackle. Call our responsive office team, and we'll dispatch a handsome and educated technician to lay the smackdown on all your plumbing issues. You can also find us at quartzplumbing.com, search us on Google, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Like, subscribe, and share, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Plum Bumps Podcast, the Blue Collar Tradesman Show, where we talk about small business and entrepreneurship, the Everyman's Podcast. I'm Phil. With me, as always, Max. Max, how you doing? You're looking shaggy today. Shaggy and dirty.
I actually didn't get the trucks. I didn't get dirty at work. I got dirty when I started working on the ATV.
We're coming off a really busy week. We had that big boiler, huge boiler.
Yeah.
And we tried to get it done in one day. That didn't work. So that was a 2-day job, and I'm still not done.
I thought we were going to get a break because it was warm last week, and this week is going to be cold.
Yeah, what's up with it? It's freezing again.
Sunday got to freezing. I took my bike out for like an hour on Saturday.
I was driving around Saturday, and I saw people riding their bikes. I'm like, why am I not on the motor? It was nice.
It was nice for like 3 hours, and then all of a sudden it got cold.
See, that's what I want. I won't ride under 60 degrees. I refuse.
You're just a prima donna. That's what it is.
I got stuck. We went out to PA once, and I got stuck riding back. We were out there for a long time, and by the time I got back, it was like 52 degrees on Route 80. Miserable.
I rode my bike in the middle of December when I bought it.
I remember that. I drove you down there. That was I can't
on
believe you
Route
did
80.
That. I can't believe you did that. So, that's right. You buy the Indian. I follow you down. You're like, I'm going to go pick up a motorcycle. I'm like, are you serious? It's like a week before Christmas.
Yeah.
And here you are driving back on the turnpike.
Yep.
Miserable. But hey, listen, warm weather's right around the corner. Whoops. Hold on. So, obviously, I love the break of spring, but I do love the money in the winter. That's the one thing I'm going to miss. Yep. That's a plumber's bread and butter right there.
Well, we have to find other ways to supplement that income.
Listen, there's plenty of ways. It depends on if you want to do them or not.
Depends on if these guys coming in do their job. What they're
well, there's always OF.com.
Selfie
That's
pics.
Always. Yeah.
I think we started. What'd you say last time? It was a blue collar, blue collar OnlyFans.
Blue collar OnlyFans.
You can sell like your
just be
dirty socks from work.
I have a story about that, but you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm going to refrain because I don't know if they watch.
There's 1,000% a niche for like smelly blue collar worker socks and like underwear and
Listen,
shit.
I know.
Gross
okay, I'm going to say. I'm not going to say the name. I know somebody who we mutually know that will do that.
I know.
He's a blue collar worker, and he'll sell his underwear and socks.
Listen, he's got a house. I don't.
He's got a house and a boat.
He's got a house, a boat. A second house is on the way.
I don't know. Listen, I like, how do you answer to the Lord about that? But at the same time,
with dollar bills. Income. That's how you.
Jeez, I don't know, man. Times are getting rough. What are housing interest rates up to now? Like 8-9%?
I don't know. Look at these. You think I can?
Oh, dude, why are they soaking wet? It's dry and sunny outside.
They're not wet. They're just dirty. That's not. Look at this.
What is?
You know
why
what
do
these
they
are
look
from?
Like
these,
that?
These are from when I was younger. These are from when I used to play soccer.
Hold on, weren't you gonna?
And the coloring.
How do you still have socks from there? That's disgusting. That's gross.
Eh.
Weren't you going to do the whole show like Vivek Ramaswamy at that interview?
Yeah, I
sit
said,
on a bar stool
I said,
in a suit barefoot?
Should I take my shoes and socks? Have you seen that picture?
I have not.
No,
He did an interview in a suit barefoot.
barefoot.
Okay.
Like we're in like New Delhi. It was so strange. Folks, this is our guest this week, Bryan Diorio from Diorio Plumbing and Heating. Brian's an old friend, and I actually trained with Bryan as a helper
Many
10
moons
years ago.
Explains a lot.
Yeah, probably 10,
About
12
10
years
years
ago.
ago. And let me tell, and I'm just going to say this right now, we hit it off immediately. From the first day, we had a ton of fun.
We did.
And we became like the dream team.
We were the dream team of the
That's,
company.
that's what the
team.
boss, dude, I'm telling
That's
you,
what the-
that's what the
that's-
boss used to call it.
There's no way he
I'm going to
called
send
you
the dream team out
team.
there. 100%. It was great.
Something needed to get done.
We go, I started, that's how I learned plumbing was through you. So I got a credit to you, unfortunately. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Guys, listen, we want to remind you that the show is sponsored by Jigsaw PMR, jigsawpmr.com. Your solution for all your cleanup needs, mold, fire, sewer, water damage. He'll take care of everything. Jigsaw is a great company. He's one of our most responsive contractors we got. He'll be in and out, take care of your business, commercial, industrial, residential, anything you need. Check him out online, jigsawpmr.com. We are also sponsored by the New Jersey State League of Master Plumbers, and we want to give a shout out to them. New Jersey State League of Master Plumbers is a super important organization, and this is the main reason why. Because small business owners, especially tradesmen, don't have the time, energy, or strength to go and lobby for themselves and defend themselves from the laws that the government tries to put in. So when you get all these guys together, like the New Jersey State League of Master Plumbers, they'll lobby for you. They'll lobby the government, local governments, and stuff like that to keep work in your pocket. They give a ton of let's do that again.
They give a ton to charity.
They give a ton to charity. They do a lot of outreach, community outreach. They do a shotgun contest to raise money. So the New Jersey State League of Master Plumbers, we want to shout them out. We want to thank you for sponsorship there. Also, always want to remind you guys that if you're interested in being on the show, you're going to go to quartzplumbing.com. You're going to click the podcast link and you're going to fill out a Be a Guest application. It's a lot of fun. You come on, we talk about your business. It's basically one long commercial for you. But if you have an interesting industry you're in, or you own a local business, or you're an entrepreneur, we'd love to have you on. So go to quartzplumbing.com, fill out that application. Other than that, we're back, right? What else you got? What else you have to add? Nothing?
No.
So, folks, let me introduce our guest again, this big old juicy bear next to me. Bryan Diorio, Oakland, New Jersey, Diorio Plumbing and Heating. Bryan has quite the journey to where he sent it up today. So, Bryan, let's talk about, well, I'll give you the rundown. I met Bryan when I first broke into the industry, and I was going to come to Quartz Plumbing, and my uncle's like, you know what? Why don't you go get your feet wet somewhere else before you come over here? So I did, and me and you worked together for like a couple months.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Mostly new construction.
Mostly new construction, renovations, and stuff like that. It was a way big learning curve for me. But I had fun.
It was a good time.
I had a lot of fun.
Both of us.
And you have, you own your own business now,
I do.
but that's pretty recent.
Yeah. I officially went out on my own really the beginning of the year.
Do you love it or hate it?
I love it. There's definitely, you stay up at night for other reasons, you know?
Yes.
Instead of being annoyed at your day for your boss or this or that, you're more thinking of getting the next job, getting
Yes.
things done. So there's a good and a bad in it, but it's nice to free up some time and not work double shifts.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, but like working for yourself is a whole nother beast.
It is.
Well, what made you want to decide to take that leap? Obviously, because I'm sure you're making good salary.
I was.
With your experience at whatever company you were working for.
It was good, a lot of tradesmen do little side things here and there, and you get a taste of it that way. And I was having a tough time going to work, and you work overtime to make more money, and I wasn't getting enough free time for me and my family, and had to figure out some way to make more money and not put in all those hours of overtime. And that's kind of just what pushed me to it.
Dude, we gear this show toward kids coming out of college, coming out of high school, trying to gear them toward the trades and stuff. And tell the people how you started. You you were a union guy. That's how you started.
I was. So I did a year of college, and clearly college wasn't for me.
Why is that clear?
Why do you say clearly?
Why do you say
Yeah.
clearly?
Well, if college was for any of us, we wouldn't be here right now, right? So you're
Okay, that's fair.
you're either good with your hands or you're a college guy.
Yeah.
You're either going to be an office guy or an out in the field kind of guy. And accounting wasn't going to cut it for me. So
You weren't going to go for accounting.
I did a year for accounting.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Which was the hardest part of the plumbing test to pass.
Accounting?
But yeah, well, the whole business law part, which is mostly accounting.
Is it really?
It's a lot of tax questions, and
We got to talk about that. We definitely want to touch base on that.
Yeah.
Because it's coming up for the both of us.
I would focus very, very hard on the business law. The rest is
It's cake. We've been doing it for
Yes,
10 years.
Exactly.
So how did you even get into the union?
My dad knew a guy that lived down the road that worked for a union company. They needed a truck driver. I started as their truck driver. I was there for about 3 months. Then they moved me into their warehouse. After being in the warehouse for about 9-10 months, they asked me if I wanted to become an apprentice.
So you didn't even start with plumbing. You were driving trucks at first.
Yeah, for a plumbing company.
Okay,
but yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, they were a union plumbing company, and I was their truck driver. And then they moved me into their warehouse.
Before that, did you have any background in it or no?
Nothing,
right?
No kind of plumbing or anything. My dad just wasn't going to let me sit at home and do nothing.
Fair enough.
He knew a guy down the road. Their company needed a driver. Go do that.
So talk about the union. What do you think of it? Would you suggest the union?
You know what? If you're a political kind of guy and you
That's what I
like
hear.
to be on that end of it, it's a great thing. If you just want to go to work and do your work and go home at the end of the day and not be bothered with it, it's not going to pan out for you.
I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, this show craps on unions, but I'll tell you what I hear about the union. The union, you don't move up on how good you are. You don't move up if you're a hard worker. You move up on whose back you scratch.
100%.
Which is so obnoxious to me.
It is the reality. That's kind of the way of the world in general. A lot of
hate that.
times you get to where you are from who you know, not because of what you know. What you know obviously helps. If you're a good worker, you won't be the first one to get laid off, but you could be a way better worker than the other guy. But if he's the foreman's brother or,
Yep.
a union rep's brother-in-law or something, he's probably going to stay longer.
The way the world works
I
anyway.
guess it is with the way
It
the world.
is.
Now that
It's the way
now
it
you put
works
that way.
in private, it
that's it.
doesn't matter if it's union or not. It's the way
Yep.
it works. So.
Yep. It's just how it goes. And,
How long did you spend in the union?
about 12 years or so, 10 to 12 years.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, so I was in there for a bit, give or take. I did my whole and I was only with one company the whole time. I did my whole apprenticeship with them. I became a journeyman with them. I was a journeyman for about a year or so. Times got a little slow. I got laid off. They brought me back as a foreman. I worked for them. Then I got laid off again. And I had a guy come and tell me, listen, if you want to work steady, you better start going to all the union meetings, start doing the picket lines. And right
Picket
then
lines.
and there, I'm like, it kind of drove me nuts because when I was an apprentice, you'd get pulled out of work to go stand on a picket line.
What's a picket line?
What's a picket line? A joke is what it is, because what does it really do, honestly? Years ago in the 60s and 70s, they'd put up the union picket lines with the rat and everything, and things would get whatever physical here or there, whatever happened, things would turn over. Now you have union guys standing on a picket line as these non-union guys are going in, just laughing.
What are you
at
picketing?
To try to get these companies to go union. You'll see it on the
jeez.
street as you're driving by. They're holding signs, in
Yeah.
front of. I can't think of specific stores off the top of my head, but they hired all non-union.
They had Bob's Furniture just did
I was
one
going to say, I thought it
recently.
was Bob's, and they
Yeah.
had a whole bunch of people out there because they all went non-union, and they play
Wow.
that game, which is, I understand what they're doing, but
So you have to get out there and put your time in for protesting and stuff. So
you do, and there's just a lot that
I have
goes
no
into that.
patience for that.
I don't either, especially when the guy that's telling you to get on that picket line is getting his check every week because, he's a rep or this or that. And, he's not worried about getting laid off or this or that.
I can't do that. The politics cannot
Me
do
neither.
it.
I said right there, I'm done with this.
I was talking to my uncle.
Else.
So my uncle, while he owned Quartz Plumbing, he ran for town council.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Oh, you should do it. It's coming up." And I thought about it, and I'm like, No. And I'll tell you why. Because you got some old, bitter 50-year-old woman who treats her husband like garbage, Miss Karen, who you have to kiss her butt, and she makes all the calls because she's been there for so long. I'm not going down like that.
And that's how it goes.
And that's how it goes. And the problem is, now Karen makes all the decisions for the town because nobody wants to deal with her.
Nope.
And that's how government works.
It's funny how that goes.
We rag on government and college all the time, so you're welcome to do that.
I won't rag on college, but it shouldn't be forced. It shouldn't be, your first step.
No.
I also feel nowadays people are starting to realize that tradesmen make good money. Even if you don't own the company, if you work for somebody, you could easily go out and make $100,000+ a year.
It's a blue collar revolution right now.
It is.
I think we talk about it all the time. Blue collar guys and tradesmen are starting to realize their worth, especially after COVID.
Oh yeah.
So we know that we make the world go round. The days of $110 hourly rate are over, or maybe they're not. I don't know what you charge.
Not that.
Okay.
No.
But I say it all the time. I want to start marketing the blue collar revolution.
I could understand why.
So union for 12 years. That's a long time to be political.
It was.
And then where do you go next?
Then I went to a little company, non-union company. And by the way, another deciding factor for me was I had issues at my own house with my boiler and things like that. Now, I've been a plumber for, at that point, 10 years or so. I had no clue how to fix it.
No way.
But there's so many guys like that out there that I've been to their houses and they're like, I do this, or I used to be this guy, I used to do this thing, and they're like, I'm like, so you should be able to fix this, no?
They don't know anything.
They don't know. A lot of guys, and you told me that too. A lot of plumbers don't know how to work on boilers. A lot of plumbers don't know how to work on water heaters.
Nope. Well, I had a lot of foremen and stuff that I worked with, and other journeymen that I worked with who've been in the trades for 30 years and couldn't even give me pointers on what to look at.
Yeah.
And
that's insane.
Because a lot of times when you're in union, especially the company that I worked for, we did a lot of hospital work and stuff. It was the same thing day in and day out. You're hanging pipe, you're running from point A to point B, where you could really take anybody and show them like how to put hangers up, how to run pipe. Exactly.
Commercial work is so different.
Yep. So
it's so different, and you don't have to. People don't understand, especially the diversity in this area, how old it is.
Oh yeah.
The things that you see and what you have to adapt to make
town
things
to town.
work. Yeah, just from town to town.
Big time.
I mean, Ridgewood, one of the oldest towns, in Bergen County.
Yeah.
It's like it's a nightmare to work in. And you have basements that are like 4 feet high.
Yep.
So
you have to think outside the box. It's more than just being a plumber. You have to just be able to brainstorm and figure certain things
different
out.
World than commercial. Commercial is like you said, you can teach anybody to just.
Commercial can be monkey work.
Yeah.
Because you have the smart guy on the job, and the rest are all his minions, and just tells his minions what to do, and he takes care of the complicated stuff like wiring the boiler and stuff.
Sounds amazing.
100%. And the minions never learn.
Nope. And they don't have to. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm telling you, residential service is where it's at.
It's funny you say that, because when I first started getting into doing some of my own work and everything, I like those bigger projects, roughing houses out and things like that. And now if I had my choice, I would just do service.
Yeah.
And that's it. Somebody's pipe is leaking through their ceiling. You come there, you cut up the sheetrock and everything, you fix that pipe, you're gone. They're happy as could be.
Yeah.
You redo somebody's bathroom with all these beautiful fixtures and everything, you're getting a call. The caulk doesn't match.
Yes.
The toilet doesn't match the line of the
grout. They put Post-its everywhere.
You know what I mean? And you're going back all the time for little things. And half the stuff is like, come on now. There's some things that need to be fixed, touched up.
People think
That's
they
part
own
of the
you.
job. Yeah, 100%. And they'll hold your money, and it's a joke. Where service, they're happy. Their heat's back on. They have hot water again, and it's done.
It's true.
You don't have the nitpicking.
You're 100% right.
Yep.
And listen, we'll take renovations when it's slow.
Of course.
But especially after 2024, we got to be really, really careful.
Yeah.
I mean, 2024 hung us. I've said that a couple episodes. 20 brutal.
For what reason?
Oh my God. I don't even want to get into it. A lot of renovations that I decided not to take, and then they finally held onto their estimates for like 6 weeks, and then finally called and like, please, I have nobody. And I'm like, fine, let's fit it in. And it just spiraled out of control.
Yep.
I was actually supposed to bring somebody in last year. They didn't work out. So it was 2024, and it sucks because I've been doing this for 10 years. I shouldn't be learning those lessons. You know what I mean?
You're going to.
But I know you don't learn lessons anymore. You got it all figured out.
We all learn as we go, man. You know that. Every day is a new adventure.
So you left the union, you went to a small little company. Mm-hmm. The company that we both worked at?
No, I
different one.
had a short run with another company, which is still in business right now. A short little stint with them for a few weeks, and I didn't like where things were going. They were kind of all over the place, promised things that they weren't keeping. And then I went to the company where I met you.
So we did at that company, we did a lot of commercial. That company was wrapped up in big builders, a TV show, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that was cool to work on.
Really,
the set.
one builder. One big builder.
Yeah, you're right. They gave us a lot of work. Remember that one job we were doing in Mawa? That really nice ranch?
Oh, yeah, I do.
That gorgeous ranch.
My favorite ranch I've ever seen.
And the GC was, yes, me too. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And the GC was like, he was a really cool dude, and the homeowner like wanted to be him, and he followed him around like a little
He bought those work boots.
He bought the same work boots. He started dressing like it.
I do.
That's weird.
It was so weird. This GC was really like a really cool magnetic guy, and the homeowner literally, as the project starts, he starts to become the guy.
Yeah.
It was like, what's
Very
that movie?
odd.
What's that movie with Matt Damon? The Talented Mr. Ripley?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So,
Freaking weird, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, there's such weirdos out there.
There's a
And
lot of
they're lurking everywhere. You
Listen,
don't realize until you start
I
going,
think there's lonely. There's a lot of lonely people.
there's a lot of hoarders.
There's a lot of hoarders and a lot of lonely
That
people.
shocked me.
it's wild, the hoarders
That
out
shocked
there.
me.
I still have a video of one that I
Do you?
I took a video. I had to because I couldn't remember. I told you I couldn't believe it, and like the lady is writing the check for when I finished the job, and she's like, "There's no kitchen counter space." She's on top of the stack, like trying to ghostwrite it for
They
me.
treat it normal.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah.
There's nothing
There's
wrong
nothing
with
to
that.
them. There's nothing to it.
I think the worst one. I have to say this. The worst one was there was a job somewhere in River Edge, I think border of River Edge, Oradell, where you texted me, and you said, "I need you to come to this job now. Whatever you're doing, drop it. Come to this job now."
There's
boy.
water pouring through
And
the
he
ceiling
goes,
at his job.
"No,
I'm like, I don't
this-
care. Come here.
He goes,
over here now.
Do you remember where you go? I need you to come to this job now. I'm scared. Like there's a terrifying.
I thought I was going to get murdered in the
There's a
basement.
dude. That,
Really?
He's big.
So listen.
All right.
You've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Not
right?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know True Detective.
I do.
You know the first season of True Detective.
A
You know
little bit.
that
Okay,
guy.
this dude had a
Huge.
basement. This dude had a basement that was, first of all, the house was terrifying.
Okay.
He had a basement, tiny little staircase, and the basement just went around hallway to room, and he wouldn't walk in front of me.
Yeah.
He would walk
It's a little
behind me.
strange.
So he's telling me where to go, and he's like Frankenstein,
Over
dude.
to the left, please.
Yes. And I go, Max. I need a backup here. Okay.
I get there.
was terrified.
I
dude.
get there. I see the guy because he's enormous. And I'm like,
Huge.
what do you think I'm gonna do? You're both dead.
Bro, you're a
if
second
he
set of
decides to do
hands.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
He
That's
like,
it.
bro, like sling blade with a lawnmower blade over the back of your head, and like not even think about
I
it.
don't think I would have went down.
I mean,
I'll
you're
follow
right.
you. You know what I mean?
That was terrifying. What other jobs did we get warned? Did we get? I'm trying to think what else we got.
There's some other jobs
Wrapped
that have
up
been
in.
absolutely disgusting, but I think that was the funniest one, one of the most memorable ones because it was. I was literally at another job and he texted me. He goes, "You have to come here. I'm actually scared for my life."
Dude, hoarders, man. Hoarders.
There's a lot of them.
I can't believe. I would
lot.
say 20 to 25% of everyone is a hoarder.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
Some
There
are
are
real
levels.
bad, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sure we've talked about this because Otto was there. The one up in Englewood Cliffs.
Oh yeah, one of the worst ones. That wasn't that's not the worst hoard I've ever seen.
I think
I've been in hordes where it's just a trail through the house,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
just mountains of stuff.
that
She
was
just
just
had
the-
stuff all over the
That
floor.
wasn't the worst one that I've ever seen, but it was the most surprising because you can kind of look at somebody and see that
Have
they're a
an
hoarder.
idea.
Be
This
like, they're
girl
a
was
hoarder.
like young and pretty. All right.
Yeah.
And like
She's like in her late 20s.
yeah.
and she was just a slob.
I don't get it.
I never like
Water
just
pouring
just
into
a
the house,
pig, dude.
where like you can swim through the living
How do
room.
you live like that?
And she said, "Don't even fix it now. I don't even need to.
Yeah, I don't even fix it.
don't
I'll
need
just go to the
fix
gym and shower.
Like the smell alone.
Oh, the
though.
smell was awful.
That's what I mean.
I walked into
don't get it.
houses. A guy had the guy had 4 bathrooms. All the toilets eventually broke down, and then the last toilet would always clog with toilet paper. So all he did was take the toilet paper and stuff it next to the toilet, and it was a mountain, like a 4-foot mountain of toilet paper.
The show hoarders. I just want to get high one last time. You know that girl?
You know that
There's literally they found poop on her bread because she couldn't go to the toilet, so she would poop in a bucket
she wouldn't throw
and
it out.
dump the bucket.
She got
So they
off on like
found
contaminated food.
People
Poop
are
particles
fucked up.
on her food, and she
I
goes,
don't know.
"Don't throw that out. I want it.
I want to eat it.
I want to eat it."
She goes,
"I
and
want
the
to get
lady
high
goes-
one last time."
It's contaminated with poop. She goes, listen, you've seen Intervention. They always want to get high one last time. She's like, it's poop. What do you mean get high? It doesn't do anything for you except get you sick.
Jesus. People are out there.
We're lucky. We
Yeah.
got great customers, but you always get ones that like,
It's just out
and you know
there.
what you have to do? No problem, man. We'll take care of this for you.
Yeah.
I will take care of that. Oh, we'll take care of this for you with a smile on your face, even
Playing
when
the
it smells
game.
like death. You got to put a smile on your face and make them feel like they're the most important person in your life.
You also get that a lot where, my mother passed away or sister passed, they put their stuff here, then they put their stuff here, and I've been meaning to get around to
Yeah,
cleaning
yeah.
up.
Whatever.
And like
Yeah.
you could just tell it's years and
Yes.
years and years. Like you're not getting around to cleaning up.
Where do you do most of your work though? Do you
I'm a little bit all over, but I would say most of my stuff is throughout Oakland, like that general area.
Okay.
A lot in Pequannock, Pumpkin Plains.
It's a good area to be in.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
I do a lot of gas lines, a lot of gas
Yeah,
work.
they're adding a lot of gas
Do you
lines out
thread or
there.
mega press?
I thread everything. I do.
My man.
By yourself?
I mean, I have
Look
a
at
helper
him.
that helps
Oh,
me,
yeah.
but yeah, I bought that Milwaukee, the cordless threader, and
Oh, you like the cordless
I
one?
love it.
Really? Cordless
Love
threader.
it. Love it. It's
I
a game.
How high
I
does
can't
it- how
imagine
high
that
does
it's
it go
got the
to?
torque.
I
though.
mean, I'll do all day 2-inch threads with 2
What?
batteries all the time.
I don't believe that.
And you can hold it down?
I can
Like-
hold it down.
He'll hold the black pipe like this and the threader like this.
My helper has to use the tool to hold it, but yeah, I mean, I could just I could get there
Wow.
and hold it down.
It's like his
Yeah.
brother. I told my helper that his brother used to sweat pipe
Yep.
and used to wipe the joints with his fingers.
That's
and
a
I'm
little-
like, you're
that's a little
out
nutty.
of your mind,
Maybe a
dude.
quick flick or something, but
No,
I've
he's-
done it quickly, you know,
Oh,
but like he's
yeah.
like sitting there and like cleaning the joint with his finger. I'm like, what are you doing?
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Although my brother, he thinks he has a higher tolerance for pain than he actually does. He is a big baby.
He's got a
Dave,
high
I'm going to
tol-
call you
some
out right now.
sibling.
High
Rivalry
tolerance
here.
for pain, no tolerance for
No tolerance for.
smoky environment.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Can't handle it.
So listen, he'll go in and be like, "Oh God, and I'm a man," but then like some things, he's just a big baby on. Like they were working in this house and it was dusty.
Listen,
and
it
he didn't
sucked.
feel like-
I'll say this: it sucked, but I couldn't. I was too early in to like complain about shit. You just have to deal with shit.
So I put him
Okay.
as my brother.
So you're too. I was too early in to complain about stuff, but
Have you ever met my brother? I feel like you have.
Yeah, I think when we used to work for the other company,
I think so.
I think maybe
Anyway, go
once
ahead,
or
I'm sorry.
twice.
but it just the job sucked. It was
Mm-hmm.
a dump of a house. It was supposed to be knocked down and started over, okay? But they didn't do that. So it was all like old.
It was that insulation that,
Yeah,
that
that
they just like
yeah.
bag in and scoop in.
That, like,
yeah.
I
And
don't
it
know
was-
what it's called.
It was just
everywhere.
construction dust on
Everywhere.
top of plaster. So he hit something. And
He hits. It was me who hammered up into the ceiling because every other day we would get called back for a leak someplace else. We would fix one part of the line. There's another part
Just
of the line
kept
that
going.
kept
Yeah,
going.
it was a
So you have to
nightmare.
open the ceiling, but there's the 3 layers, you know, that you have to go through. So I'm hitting it, and the dust is coming down, and I just hear him start to cough. And then
And cough.
and then he coughs, and he told me he was in a metal band. So he just keeps coughing.
He's like,
And I'm like,
call an
okay.
ambulance.
Yeah.
Call an ambulance. And so he calls me on the phone. He's tucked in a closet because he's afraid. He calls me
His
on the phone.
brother's huge,
He goes,
huge.
Your brother's telling me to
God.
call an ambulance. I was like, you do not call a fucking ambulance.
No,
I
so
am not
this is-
paying workers'
no.
comp for a fucking ambulance for
Absolutely
dust.
not.
Are you
This
kidding
is
me?
what it was. We finished that job, but he kept coughing, and he stayed outside while I
God.
did it. We get in the work
He's so
truck, we start
dramatic.
driving back, and he's coughing and coughing, and he's punching the dashboard.
Oh, God.
And he almost, I swear to God, he almost punched a hole in the dashboard. I thought he was going to pop the airbag, like set the
How
airbag
great
off.
would that have been?
And he goes, "You gotta drive me to a hospital."
Like, what are they going to do?
And I'm driving, and
man.
like again, this is like maybe the third time I've met him, and I'm just sitting there on the steering wheel, like if he could murder me, and I wouldn't know.
We're going to get back to Diorio Plumbing, but I
Same
want to tell
fear as
another
you.
story.
All right.
Yes. yes.
And that's when I called him. I said, "Listen, your brother wants me to take him to a hospital. What do you want me to do?" He goes, "Don't take him to a hospital." I said, "You have to tell him that. I'm not telling him that. There's no way I'm gonna
You
tell
have
him
to die
that."
next week. I'm not bringing
Yeah.
you anywhere.
He goes, what was that one time? So we took a road trip. It was me, my brother, him, and his brother.
Okay.
We all rented an RV, and we did like all the way down south, and then came up to Kentucky. Just did a long RV trip and stopped at a whole bunch of national parks. So his brother's hysterical, and my brother's my brother. He's a larger, dopier version of me.
That's possible, huh?
Yes, it's possible. So I brought my brother didn't have money at the time. I was like, you know what? You come out with us. You're the driver. So we're going to hang out in the RV. You're the driver.
Nice.
We're 2 hours into the trip or something. He wears contacts. We're driving at 70 miles an hour down the highway.
He's asleep.
I'm
He's
kinda
asleep in the
dozing off.
passenger chair. My brother's reading a book. I'm in the top bunk that sits above the driver.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're driving down the highway, and all of a sudden he just slams on the brakes, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And we're like, "What?" He's like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And then my Max is like, "What? What's wrong?" He's like, "My eyes are dry." I was like, "What? You almost effing killed us."
No,
He's so.
the funny part was that he was freaking out, and he's so calm because he just knows his freakouts, and he goes,
My eyes are dry.
he goes, "What is it? Use your words."
Here's your words.
And it made him angry.
My eyes are they're dry. I'm like, oh my God, this is such an easily solvable situation.
Visine.
Anyway, sorry, Brian, we went off on a tangent.
No, you're all good.
So let's get back to Diorio Plumbing. Have you ever worked with a guy like that?
No, never. Never. He didn't work with anybody dramatic. Not
Oh
me.
my goodness. We worked with some characters, man.
We have.
I enjoyed that job. I learned a lot.
It was good.
You know
we
what?
had a lot of fun.
You know what I didn't like? And we weren't on this job together, commuting to Jersey City in the morning to do that. That was a nightmare.
After you left, the other guy that was running that Jersey City
took it
job
over?
left, and I took that over. And yeah, I didn't like going there very much.
It was brutal.
It was me and my little buddy Lorenzo going.
Yeah, Lorenzo.
So when you guys did the commercial stuff, it was only two of you that were doing that.
no, there was a whole crew.
Oh, okay.
We would
That
go
they
out
were
on residential
following
stuff.
Oh, okay.
When we did the commercial stuff, they had that crew that was on that Jersey City job, and then it was me and you that really did all the other
Yeah,
stuff
it was us taking care of everything else.
because there was two brothers that ran the company. One had a commercial end, and the
Yeah.
other one did more of the residential stuff.
how long were you there for?
I was there for like 6 or 7 years, I think.
So you took. Listen, you got your journeyman. You took a long time to get your license.
Took a very long time.
What was the process when you had to jump in and just get your license? Did you just sign up to test and that was it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I had to get all my paperwork together and all that stuff.
Did you take a
which
prep course?
I did take a prep course.
You don't think it did anything?
Well, I didn't really have anybody to talk to that recently took their test, so I didn't know what to expect
Yeah.
or anything. You know what I mean? So it helped me in that aspect. Like I didn't even know what books to get, so it gave me all that and everything. But knowing what I know now, there's stuff online that would help more.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
even in the prep course, like they go over a lot of the code and that stuff. And the code, even if you don't know it, because nobody knows all the codes, it's in the book and it's cut and dry. You know what I mean? Like if they're asking a venting question, you go to the venting section, you look it up and you can find it. Where like the business law part, they're asking a tax question, you don't just go to the tax section.
Right.
It's that was the hardest part, learning how to use that book and find where everything is.
Yeah.
So, and in that prep course, he was pretty much like, highlight. He would go over what to highlight. You end up highlighting 90% of the book. And then he's like, you guys got to try to get in study groups and this and that. And I mean, it was all the way down by Edison. And class started at 7 o'clock at night and ended at 10:30, 3 nights a week. I'm like, when
For how long?
It was, I think 2 months, 2 or 3 months.
Okay, that's doable.
Yeah.
Still, it's not enjoyable. Like,
It's not.
I mean,
I
who's
hate
getting in
school.
study groups? Yeah. Hence why we're here.
Yeah.
I hate school.
Yeah, I get it.
I really do. It could tell me I could go to school for a subject that I really love, and I'll just hate it because it's school.
It's not fun.
Bro, but you finally did it, man.
I did.
You finally did it, and then now you're on your own.
Yeah. It was
So
worth it.
it is worth it.
It is.
So tell me, how'd you even get started on your own? Like, how do you even say, I'm sure you have customers on the side that you meet while working.
That's what
So you
ends
just
up
jack them from
happening.
other companies. I get it.
Yeah, that was one of their biggest concerns. You're stealing customers. I'm
Yeah.
like, if you're worried at that point of it's one thing, like if you have an employee that's working for you and he's going to your customers like, hey, I could do cheaper.
Right.
That's not right.
Right.
But I mean, I live in Oakland.
Yes.
Their main company was based through this general
Yes.
area, the Hackensack area and stuff. Like, my neighbor's not calling
Yeah,
you
exactly.
to do plumbing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe they're going to open the book and see you, but I'm not stealing your customer.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I never looked at it as I was stealing customers. Just like if, I get going and I have helpers or whatever and they start their own thing. If they're doing their own thing and they're not bothering my customers, more power to
That's
me.
what I say.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's work out. If you're good at what you do and you treat people right, your customers are going to be your customers. They're not going to leave you. And the ones that do, you don't want them anyway.
Right, exactly.
You know what I
They're
mean?
wishy-washy. You can do without them.
That's it. Same with the ones that try to chew you down and everything.
Yes.
And I'm still learning because I still sometimes bend a little bit.
Yeah.
But every time you bend, you end up saying to yourself, I'm never doing this again.
Exactly.
Never. It's not worth it to make the few $100.
Listen,
If it's slow and you have to, it's one thing.
90-year-old Mrs. Smith down the road.
Yes.
I used to have such sympathy, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, she's on a fixed income."
Yeah.
Now, I'm taking her walker
Yeah.
until she writes me a check. She will not be going to ShopRite
Understandable.
until she pays. Like, she's got money.
A lot
Don't
of
lie
them
to me,
do.
lady.
They usually have more money than the younger group.
Yep.
Don't give me some sob story, okay? This ain't no
Yeah.
501c3. I'm sorry. This is a business.
Yeah, their house is paid off.
They're
They got money in the
Bought the
bank.
house for $50,000
Yeah.
back in
They're just
1960.
they're just a money hoarding boomer.
A lot of them are. It's the 30-year-olds that they're driving the BMW and they're like, oh, the water heater. Could you put half of it on this card, half of it on this
Yeah.
card?
I'm
and
okay
can
as
I
long
pay
as,
you
as long
off?
as it equals the full price.
Yeah, but it's more, that little old lady's driving a car from the 60s that
The mismanagement of finances
Yeah,
in like
exactly.
younger people is crazy. I think
Yep.
when you see credit cards and all your statements are online,
Yeah.
it's
it's so hard
Yeah.
to keep track and
Yes.
actually know what your
That's
your
it.
salary and what your value is.
This
Because
is true.
I see people spend money like they have it and they don't.
Of course.
Yeah.
All the time. And from an outside view, people are thinking that they have money because
Yeah.
they're driving around in these new cars and this
Oh,
and
yeah.
that and nice clothes.
It's all about
and
image, and then you get to
Yeah.
the bare bones of it, and it's like, wow, you got
something like a water heater. And I'm not saying a water heater's cheap, but it's not one of these things where you got to remortgage your house. You're
Right,
not
right.
not talking a boiler where $10,000-$12,000. You're talking a water heater, $2,000-$3,000
Yeah.
that they need to put the water heater itself on a credit card and then pay you off in payments and everything. Like, but you're driving a BMW, your wife's got a Mercedes,
Right.
and
don't-
you can't pay to fix your house.
Yeah.
Or the people with the $2 million house, and they're like, well, let's get the toilet from Home Depot.
Yeah.
Like, you have a $2 million house and you're going to save money by buying cheap fixtures.
yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Or using cheap labor to build that house.
Yeah.
Dude, most
Which a
people
lot of them
don't.
are.
Most people don't know that a Delta from Home Depot is totally different than a Delta from.
Well, a lot of people just look at the price. They're like, well, I could buy that same one at Home Depot
Yeah.
for $200 instead of $400. And it's like, well, go
we
feel
went
it
to,
and see.
We went to the American Standard Factory, and they show us their Home Depot, Lowe's, their home improvement lines
Yep.
versus what you buy from their website or from a supply house. They cut them in half, and they show you.
Yeah.
This is
And
the
there's a big
inside,
difference.
and this is the inside. This is what it is. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
It makes sense.
You know?
The Home Depot brand gets a lot less warranty. You
Of
get
course.
the real warranty from the real Delta, from the real Kohler, from
Yeah.
whatever.
Like how do you think companies sell? How do you think Delta the faucet on Delta is more expensive than the faucet in Home Depot. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, if the company can't sell it cheaper, it means that it's a different
There's
product.
a reason why.
There's a reason
people,
why.
People don't realize that. And what I tell people is, I will install whatever you get.
Yeah.
You want to get that? I have no problem putting it in. When that faucet leaks, though, now I don't want to say that you're on your own, but you're going to pay me
I'm
to
not
come
warranted.
fix
Pay me
it.
to come back and fix
If
it.
my faucet leaks from the supply house, now I have the supply house behind me, so I get to deal with them and they help me out. And, I'll stand behind my product, but you want to buy cheap stuff, especially like Ream water heaters. I won't put a Ream water heater.
I tell people same thing.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that people.
People are like,
Garbage.
oh, Ream, I got a Ream.
Yep.
It's good. I got good reviews. It's like they pay for those things,
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah, 100%.
They are Google. They go and manipulate.
Yep.
They pay off Google. They're terrible, dude.
100%.
And you have to wait 2 weeks for a freaking pilot assembly.
Oh, that was awful.
Like, what
Which
do I
go
tell
all
my
the time.
customer, bro? They have young kids. I have to go in here and tell them that, whoa, we can't do anything about it. We got to ship it.
Yep. All the time.
So
the gas
listen, we could
valve,
go.
Yes.
We could go on a
Yes.
rant with suppliers
Yes.
right
Yeah.
now.
Who's your least
And
favorite brand?
No, Ream.
Okay.
Who's your second least favorite?
I don't like Kohler.
Yes, I know it. Yeah. Every time I post an anti-Kohler picture on my social media, he's the first one to comment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't.
He's
really
like, revolution.
Until Kohler
they make a nice
responds.
looking product, but they try to reinvent the wheel, and it
Yeah.
it makes
They-
our life a night.
They,
It really does.
They marketed the hell out of
Yes,
it.
the
They do.
marketing.
They
Listen,
do.
And
they
I'll
went-
tell you what commercial caught on the most was that blind guy who was in the bathroom feeling around, amazed, and he's like, and the whole thing was about like Kohler, like invigorate your senses or some
Yeah.
crap like that.
Ridiculous. It's a
Insane.
joke.
That was in the late '90s. I'll never forget that commercial.
They did a good job.
Yeah.
It's stuck in your head.
So we're gonna take a break in a couple minutes here, but I want to talk about you going out on your own because it's scary to all of a sudden be like, I'm going to go on my
is.
own and
It is.
and pay my mortgage, raise my family, and all this stuff.
100%.
How do you maintain a customer base? How do you
do
get
you
the word
sleep at
out
night?
there?
Yeah. Sleep does that. You mean nap?
Yeah,
About
intermittently.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
I close my eyes for 2 hours throughout the day.
I mean, what does it look like right now? Marketing,
Facebook.
getting the word out, all references. Yeah,
Everything is. I mean, even me. If we're doing something in my house, I need a guy to work on my deck. Or you're going to Facebook.
The moms groups.
Yeah, that's where it is because it's honest reviews for the most part.
you can't beat them.
Yeah, it really is. If you treat people bad, everybody's going to know it.
Yeah.
If you don't do right by everybody, if you don't know what you're doing or put out a bad product,
It's
they're
crazy
gonna
how,
say it.
with all the social media platforms out there, newer ones, that Facebook is still like the major go-to
Yeah,
for
for
advertisement.
for
bro,
advertisement.
it's all the moms groups. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the moms groups are running the world.
Fantastic.
My
Yeah.
dad said
I'll
selling
take it.
cars on Facebook Marketplace. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the place to be.
I mean, if you need to buy something,
Yeah.
secondhand,
Yeah.
you go on the Facebook Marketplace. Quad, car, whatever,
Yeah.
even tools.
Yeah.
You go on there and take a look, see what's around. I'll do that daily. Like I'll just go on the Facebook Marketplace and put in plumbing tools or whatever
Just
and
out of
see what's up.
curiosity.
Yeah, see if there's something good out there. You find a Pro Press cheap or a Snake, whatever.
Mega Press is going to be my next purchase, I think. I love threading pipe, though. I like it.
I enjoy threading pipe.
You know what I want? Oh, you know what tool you got to get? Called Pipe Vise.
The little
It has a pipe wrench mounted onto this
I've seen
plate,
them.
and it has a handle, and you can sit. I love it. And you can crank down fittings on
Is
black
that what I
pipe.
picked up at the supply house the other day?
No, it's the
handle?
one that's sitting on the side of the transit.
Oh,
No, you know that red thing, that red plate with the pipe wrench teeth on the
yeah.
front.
Okay.
You stick your pipe in there, and you can hold it nice and steady. Other than you're balancing two pipe wrenches,
the two pipe wrenches. You need a
and then
good
you're
vise.
holding it, and then it rolls on your fingernails.
It's a nightmare, man. You're trying to hold it
That's
with your
what
foot
happens.
and the other. Yeah.
That's what happened to me the other day with the slicing up my armpit. Remember, I broke a union.
oh yeah.
Jesus.
He sliced open his whole shirt, and then he's like, "Is there a cut under here?"
Nope.
And I'm like, "No, I don't see anything. It's just red."
When I go
but
home,
like
it's
right
like
below
somebody
the
took a
shirt, there was
big-
this massive cut down to
Oh,
like
God.
the
Shirt
sinews
turned
of the
all red.
muscle. I'm like, He sends me a picture. I was like, "That was there the whole time."
My brother's a nurse, so I show it to him. I said, "Can you see? Like, does it look bad? Because I can't really see it." And he goes like this, and my brother's so dramatic. He's so dramatic, and he goes,
like mine.
he sees it, and he goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, put your hand off of your face.
Oh God. You're
and
a nurse.
just get something for me to put on this.
Oh God. Yeah, no, you need a good vice.
You need a good pipe vise
The
for
Milwaukee
sure.
pipe vice. Do you use it?
No,
Phenomenal.
really?
Well, one, it's nice because like a normal chain vise, when you fold it up, you have that big head, and then the legs kind of fold.
And it's heavy as shit and
This
awkward.
folds completely flat. So like when you fold it up, it's flat, and you can put it right up against the wall.
Really?
It's nice.
All right, I'll look into it.
So I
it sounds pricey.
It's $500, $550, whatever.
Yeah, but
So
what about the Milwaukee cordless?
the
threader?
threader? That's about $2,000. But I don't have one corded tool on my van,
That's the way to do it.
other than the battery chargers. I
Not
don't have
even
anything
a corded sawzall to get like real.
To
You
get
cut
real
cast
what?
with a battery sawzall?
If
Or
I'm
you
cu-
snap cut it?
Well, I would snap cut or use a grinder first. If I have to use it, I don't even use a sawzall. I use a hacksaw. The Milwaukee
yeah,
hacksaw.
same, yeah.
And I mean, it gets through it. You know,
With those freaking alligator claws
That's
you got.
it.
You
You
just
just put a little pressure on it. That's why we go through those damn things. I have like 4 or 5 of those hacksaws.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
burn out all the time. But
So what's tell me the plans for the future? What is the next 5 years looking like? Next 10 years looking like?
5 years, I'm worried what tomorrow's looking like.
Okay,
no,
fair enough.
No, I mean, I would love to stay. Just keep it small. I'm gonna have another guy coming with me soon.
How about the boy? Is he going to come up and be a plumber?
I mean, it sure seems like it.
Does it? Does it?
I mean, he's 8 years old, so who knows? But he could definitely be part of the Diorio Plumbing
Yeah, I
crew.
mean, that's the way to do it.
mean,
Keep
yeah.
it in the family.
Let's see. We'll see. We'll see if he's college material or not. You know. Yeah,
There's like 5% of the population is college material.
well, my wife and her family are pretty smart. So,
Do they go to
we'll see.
college?
Yeah, they're all teachers.
Well, you don't need college if you're smart. Then what's the point?
Well, we'll see how it all pans out.
My big fat Greek wedding line? She goes, see, she's already smart. What for she need more school?
Just makes sense.
I thought you were talking about, you see, didn't I tell you it was a problem
You
to
see?
educate the woman?
You see, a man, didn't I tell you, is a mistake to educate women? That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I've never seen it.
You should watch it. Listen,
should
I
watch
hate
it.
I gotta put it on
rom-coms. He told me to watch it. You're going to love it. It's
You'll
a
love
great
it.
movie. I said, I'm not watching it. I can't sit through a rom-com.
I'm like, you'll watch this.
I watched
We're
it.
going to watch it. We're going to Netflix and chill and watch this movie. I didn't watch it with him.
I watched it, and it was
Yeah,
hysterical.
you were doing the chilling, right?
It's the best. Yeah.
It was hysterical.
It's the best romantic comedy there is. So you got to watch it.
It's on the list.
All right, Brian. Why don't we plug Diorio Plumbing and Heating right here? 15 years in the making. Give your phone number.
201-819-1408.
And online is DiorioPlumbing.com.
Correct.
Diorio.
That's it.
Not Oreo. Diorio.
No apostrophe.
No
All one word.
apostrophe. And you can be found on Facebook. You're all over Facebook.
I'm all over Facebook.
When are you going to start putting out reels? When are you going to do a podcast? When are you going to do the Diorio podcast?
Yeah, I don't want to show you guys up,
Okay, fair enough.
Keep you guys in business over here.
All right, guys, check out Brian. Brian's a great plumber. I can tell you that because I worked with him, and he started to train me. But let's be honest, at the end, I started to train you.
If that's what helped you sleep at night, that would help you nap at night.
All right, folks, stick with us. We will be right back.
Call Quartz Plumbing and Heating. Top-rated plumbers in North Jersey for over 60 years. And don't forget to keep treats for Frankie on hand. They'll help to subdue her carnal, animalistic nature.
Jigsaw PMR Property Maintenance Restoration in Oradell, New Jersey. Ready to tackle the toughest disasters affecting your home or business. With state-of-the-art equipment and years of experience, our responsive staff will get you back home quicker than anyone else. Check us out at jigsawpmr.com and follow our cleanup journey on Instagram and Facebook. Give us a call at 201-425-4855. Jigsaw PMR, restoring peace of mind.
All right, we're recording.
Ever been in a crawl space with Just asking.
No, he's pretty new. Not yet. Just
Waiting
wait.
for a real treat.
You know, it's funny that you say it.
first.
It's funny you say that because I was watching an episode of Dirty Jobs the other day, and it just happened to be that it was the plumbing episode. And I don't know if you know which one it is. No, leave it like that because otherwise it's not flexible. But the plumber was enormous. It's just this giant, fat fuck of a man. All right?
That's how we do it.
And they have to go into this tiny crawl space and sweat some pipe in like Tennessee, so it's hot. And every time he's got to pass over him, every time he has to pass over Mike Rowe, he takes the top. And Mike gets pissed. He goes, "Why the hell every time we cross over, why are you passing over top?"
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Plum Bums Podcast, the blue collar tradesman show where we talk about small business and entrepreneurship, the Everyman's Podcast. We are here with Max and Brian, and we have a new addition to Quartz Plumbing, Vinny
Gabagoots.
Gabagoots. Folks, meet Vinny. Vinny just started with Quartz Plumbing, so we're going to break him in a little bit. Vinny, you're fresh out of school, right?
Indeed.
So, give me the overall gist of how you feel about the plumbing industry so far.
So far,
And speak highly of this business because we're about to.
It seems very confusing as a newcomer. You know, big old boilers and all this wiring that you're getting confused by is intimidating.
Oh yeah.
So that scares me a little. Not gonna lie, but just the simple stuff doesn't seem too hard to me until it becomes hard. So
What do you think about taking a nap on Brian's chest over there?
Come on. Don't be bashful.
This is what you're gonna have to get used to: the ball busting of the trades. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah, you are
Okay.
right.
So it's just constant ball busting. First of all, you never tell the guy that he's doing a good job. You always tell him he's garbage.
Yep.
You don't want to give him.
We don't give support in this.
If there was
in this industry.
another plumber before you got there, his work's all shit.
Yeah, all garbage.
Wow, who does it like this?
This is how it goes. Listen, I don't want to knock another plumber,
Yeah.
but
I don't
it's
like to talk
a
bad about
nightmare.
another company, but he had no idea what he was doing.
It's not how I would have done it. It'll work, but it's not right.
So, Vin, you ready for the journey of? It's quite a journey, I'll tell you. I mean, you can tell. Max has stories. Brian's got stories. We can sit here and have some whiskey and talk about a whole bunch of stuff.
Let me ask this, because I think everybody's got a story. What makes a good helper? Like, what makes you hold on to somebody? Like, you have a guy that you've been holding on to now for.
I do. He's been with me for a little
Like,
bit.
what was that moment where you were like? Because I know what he said about me. I'm not gonna say it again. But was there like a defining moment? Because I have one. Because I've been working with Vinny mostly, so I have one that I've said about
That's how
him.
they
Where
smell, like right here.
Yeah,
he
I mean,
comes in smelling like fucking Dolce Gabbana.
that could get the
All right,
ball
we'll do
rolling.
that.
No. But do you have a moment?
My big thing is he shows up every day,
Okay.
which is a terrible way to look at it.
Yeah.
But nowadays to get somebody to
Dude,
show
exactly.
up on time every day,
That's the hardest thing.
and I'm a stickler. If we're starting at 7, if you're coming at 7:02, go sit in the van for an hour.
Yeah.
You can start at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Let's get here on time. I get it, things happen, but
That's a big thing. If
drives me
you're,
nuts.
listen, 15 minutes before the start time is on time.
agreed.
You know,
Agreed. A lot of
5
people don't
minutes
look at it
before
like
the
that.
start time.
Doesn't mean I'm paying you for that 15 minutes, but
Yeah.
You really are a stickler, huh?
I am. I am.
You got to earn that extra 15
You got to earn that
minutes.
extra 15. You got to bring me some whiskey and peanuts or something.
Oh, God. Always looking for some whiskey and nuts.
You know me. So let's talk about Vin. So Vinny's actually not totally done with school yet.
no.
So you fresh. You were going to daytime school. And here's the funny part, and I'm going to just intersect. And so Vinny's so fresh, he doesn't really know that I'm not a nice guy yet. He thinks, "Oh, my boss is so nice
He
and
knows.
friendly."
He knows. He knows. You know why? Because every
Pete's
time I
always
come with him, every time I come to the supply house with him, he goes, you're lucky you're not with Phil. You're lucky."
Bro, when I get stressed, everyone feels it.
That just happens.
Everyone feels the. No, but Vin, you're like in your last week or two of school, and you're literally fresh, baby bottomed out into the industry.
What are your words? How are you wording these things?
Because it's going. It's the vision in my head. You know how like the new year starts with the baby, and at the end of the new year they do the old man. You know.
No, I don't.
You
know
don't know
that.
the New Year baby
No.
that they show every year?
No.
It's the whole thing. The year starts as a little baby in the diapers with the sash, the New Year, and at the end he's an old man.
No.
Am I the only one who's?
Yeah, I can't say.
You're looking like, all right.
You're the only one there.
So you're fresh out of school and you're about to break into this industry. Here's my advice: listen to everything.
That's I try to be like a
Suck
sponge.
it up. Listen to everything.
Like he just said, suck it up and listen to everything.
Because I'll tell you. So I don't want to, and I don't want to fluff my ass too much, but I think courts is pretty. We see a lot of stuff. We see a whole lot of stuff from commercial to actually a little bit light industrial.
We're a very diverse company.
Yes.
2024, 25.
Yeah, you have to be.
We're very diverse.
Did you know that if you go over 5 trucks, you have to meet the DEI requirements in your area? So if you're mostly Asian in your area, you have to have mostly Asian techs to meet the DEI requirement in your area. If you go over 5 trucks, the state.
I don't know if you're gonna have to cut this out, but I can tape my eyes to the side, make myself
Yes, I'm
look a
gonna
little.
have to cut that out. Thank you. Dude, there's nothing Asian about you, even if you do that.
Yeah,
Have
I've
you ever
never
met
seen
a ginger Asian?
No.
Does that even exist? Yeah, you have to. Once you go over 5 trucks, the state starts snooping to make sure that you're not discriminating and you're hiring.
It's wild.
It is wild.
You should be able to hire whoever you want.
Yeah. Like, anyway, I don't want to go off on that tangent. I don't want to scare our viewers away. But so tell us about your thoughts.
I don't
now
think the
that you're-
people who watch this show are gonna get scared away from that stuff.
That
if
is
they're
true.
watching this show, this podcast,
their
it
own
means
problems.
it's
we did get hate mail
exactly.
on our like
what?
5th. We got hate mail.
I said I have autism. It
No,
was
he
like-
goes. He made an autistic joke, like something about having autism, or like, yeah, I'm slightly autistic, so I have to wear the headphones or
He
something
asked
like
me
that.
why you keep wearing the headphones because everybody got rid of them. I said it's a little autistic thing. I don't know.
I was like, oh yeah, that is. I guess it is
That was
trendy to
it.
be autistic. That's it. That's where it ended.
That's a big one.
I get a strongly worded email from some dude. How dare you make fun of autistic? I want you to take this episode down right now. I want an apology and all this stuff. I'm like, delete.
You take it as a compliment that people are watching.
Yeah, I'm like, all right,
Ooh,
publicity.
yeah.
But no publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I just deleted it. I didn't even
People
respond.
are
Never
too
heard from him
sensitive,
again.
man.
It's like, get it. It was a dude. A dude wrote that.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, get a
If
job.
they get upset at that, they're going to get really upset at our next guest, Mr. Kanye West.
Yeah, we got Kanye, folks. Just for funsies. We're going to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So tell us about all that you learned in school and how much you know when you're ready to go, because putting boilers in soup to nuts right now.
So wait, we're talking plumbing school you're just finishing up
Yeah.
with? Got it.
So I'd say my high school trade school, I learned way more than what I'm in now, quite honestly. My teacher is literally only...
Where'd you go to vocational high school?
Yeah, you know Rockland Bosse's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there for 2 years.
Okay.
My teacher was like a few years older than him, so of course we busted chops, like, oh, you know, how are you a teacher? You're like a few years older than us, like, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
But he was very, like, passionate about plumbing, and he taught us everything, most of the stuff I know. And my teacher now, he's an older guy, like, he doesn't really care that much. We're on union breaks constantly, you know,
Nice.
that whole thing.
Nice.
So can't say I learned much at this new school, but it's more of just like a reinforcement of like basic stuff I already knew.
So you have to go, it's like you're there for what, 7 hours a day?
8 to 3 every day.
Oh my God. I would kill
It's
myself.
very boring, to say the
At least
least.
in high school, you changed classes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine sitting in the same classroom?
Well, yeah, I didn't really do it in high school either.
No, if you changed classes, then you went to study hall. I mean, was there gym? Did you have PE? And this is, I can't do school, man. School is not for me. I'm dreading the test. I'm dreading.
You had to have gone to school.
Of course I went to school. I went to night school. It was miserable.
Yeah.
It was miserable. Like, I'm not
It's
going to
so
say it's
unnecessary.
miserable.
It's
I'm not
just-
going to say it's miserable. Okay.
It's unnecessary the time, how long you have to do it for. You can get what the knowledge that I took from school, I can get in 2 years, realistically,
Easily.
of night school. Give me 2 years, I get it. 2 years makes sense to me. All right, that's what you have to go to school for. You learn a little bit, whatever, some codes, how to read the book, and that's it. It doesn't need to expand. Doesn't need to go past that to 5 years. It's ridiculous.
Should we tell the Bergen story?
You could tell the Bergen. I mean, it's not
You
that.
know, I got kicked out of Bergen. I told you this. I got kicked out of Bergen school.
What'd you do?
So, remember COVID? Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
So, of course, you do the online classes while they're trying to make up, but they took a year off. They didn't have anything to do.
Okay.
So, of course, school gets pushed back. I mean, I should have been licensed like years ago. So they start bringing people back, and me and him go to register, and they're like, listen, you have to sign this paper. You have to wear a mask. And I'm like, fine. No problem. We'll wear a mask. And it's like a year and a half later when everybody knows that the mask is BS. Okay, it's garbage. And anyone who says, and let me give you some insider COVID information. Even when the state was forcing everyone to wear a mask for like over a year, we would go to people's houses. They're like, yeah, you don't have to wear that.
Yeah.
Nobody believes the mask. Only when they're in front of other people.
Yeah.
Don't give me that bullshit.
Wear it to your table, but when you get to the table,
Well,
you
take it off, and then you're good. It's because COVID stops there.
Yeah.
So just breathe on your own bread.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I go, okay, fine. We'll wear a mask. No problem. Sign the paper. We go in there. I go to start at Bergen. And there's 3 people at the front door. And you have to do a facial recognition facial scan.
For your temperature?
Yeah.
Something with the
It
temperature.
was a temperature. Yeah.
And I walk in, I'm like, I'm not doing that. They're like, what do you mean you're not doing that? I'm like, I'm not doing that. I didn't agree to do that every time I walk in here. This is stupid.
Love it.
Okay? This is stupid. I paid for class. I'm going to class. So I start walking down the hall. So the one lady starts blocking me like a linebacker. She's like, you're not going anywhere. Well within the 6 feet. I'm like, whoa. What are we doing here? Super spreader.
I don't have my mask on.
But so she's like, you're not going to class. I'm like, I paid for this class. I'm going to class and I'm not doing your stupid temperature scan. Calls the police. Cops show up. I got booted from Bergen. They wouldn't allow me to come back because of my language. And it did. I was pissed. I was very angry. I'm like, I paid for this class. Let me go to class. I'm like, you need to calm down.
The funny part was after he left, police came, all that kind of stuff. They didn't make us do the facial scanner.
Yeah,
because
they took it away.
I stayed, and I was like, the entire time, I was like, that was really fun. Like, I started talking to the teacher and the administrator because they had somebody come in. They actually called the principal down to the school, and then when he said something, I interjected. I'm like, nah, that's wrong. That's messed up. You can't tell somebody that they're not allowed back at the school when they paid for it, and you didn't even put that on the paper. And then I left, and I'm like,
And he left too because the principal came down and started flaunting his authority.
yeah.
Oh my God.
So
A couple people actually walked out after that, which
yeah,
I
a
will
couple
say,
people left because they were pissed.
yeah,
But
So
it's
where'd
not
you
like
finish your school then?
Passaic.
Gotcha.
way better anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Way
listen,
better.
Bergen's got a nice facility, but Passaic, Ronnie Barbarulo is the teacher over there.
Ronnie's a good guy.
He's great.
He's a good guy.
He's fun. He makes it interesting. He's just great.
I deal with him a lot. He's an inspector over.
Oh yeah, he's over in your county.
He is. Well, he's actually in Morris County.
So that's my booted from Bergen. So if you ever want brownie points over there, well, you're almost done. Actually, don't mention my name.
There's been fights in that class. It's been
Really?
very entertaining. 3 fights so
What,
far.
you go to school in Newark?
I couldn't even tell you. The stupidest stuff sets these people off. I'm just like,
Sets
why
who
are we
off?
fighting?
The
These
students?
yeah. This same kid, he's gotten a fight 2 times last week. I don't know if they kicked him out,
Are
whatever.
they allowed? And they keep allowing him to go back?
Yeah.
But I can't. If I don't scan my face, I can't come back.
It's bizarre.
What's your language?
What, does he not curse when he beats people up?
Bergen Academy is technically in Hackensack, right?
Yeah,
That is Hackensack.
that's
yeah.
Hackensack.
Yeah.
Don't say it. Moving on.
I didn't say it.
From passing, we're
I
glossing over
just,
that.
I was just,
I know you. It's been 8 years that we've been working together.
listen,
What are your thoughts on working with a partner, knowing them better than your spouse? Is that not? I mean,
It happens.
We talk. We talk about it all the time. Like we had the chef from Great Foods when he was on here.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, the partner I work with at school, well, I know it. Like, I know what he's gonna say before he even thinks it. We've been working together all the time.
You don't have to say things on certain jobs. You just look at each other.
Vin, that's what you have to get used to.
Just know.
Just constantly being
There's a full
surrounded.
conversation with just a look.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to learn to do that because nowadays everybody has cameras in their house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Can't say anything.
It's true.
It's just a look.
We fight like I don't always tell this story. I'm telling. So I had one of my rapper buddies on here. He's like an underground rapper, really funny kid. And we used to build swimming pools together. And I started talking about eating lunch together in the truck, and he goes, which is so sacred, by the way. The lunch in the truck is just so sacred. But me and him are eating lunch in the truck like a married couple, and he turns to me. He's like, I hate how you eat sandwiches, dude. I hate it.
Noisy.
Listen, it's about 6 years. He's not noisy. I'll say it every single time. He's not. It's not just noisy. It doesn't matter what food he eats. It sounds like he's eating spaghetti or soup.
He makes a lot of noise.
No, just like
God.
that's not how you eat a chicken parm. That doesn't work like that.
Just wait till you have Vinny for years and years and years,
That's
man.
fine. He can point out
I'm
whatever
telling you, Vin.
whatever he wants.
Did you have? I do have your resume. I forgot about already. Have you worked in a trades company?
I worked for a dental company. The two twins there, they were like 50 years old. Those were the most interesting people I've ever met in my
No
life.
way.
They would yap. They knew everything about everything. He just yap, get no work done. I'm like, Mike, we got a deadline. We got to do this. He's like, we'll get back to it. I'm like,
I think demolition guy is that's where you know that they're a little bit characters.
Yeah.
You know,
They're out
Demo
there.
guys.
just like roofers.
Yep.
Roofers are
Sprinkler guys.
Excavators are out there.
Excavators for sure.
They're all
That
little,
excavator. Dude, I'm telling you, the trades are where it's at. I could not do anything else.
Agreed.
I really couldn't.
What's your advice?
What's my advice?
What would be one piece of advice to give?
Soak up everything you can. Look over my shoulder when I'm working on the computer. Figure out the
Be
numbers.
like annoyingly over his
When
shoulder
you get-
because he loves that.
No.
He loves that.
just start breathing on.
Yeah.
Bro, when you go to the supply house, don't just buy parts and not look at it. Look how much things are.
So at Ferguson, there's always like just no prices.
No, you'll see prices
The
on
yellow
that.
tag.
I see the
They'll-
barcodes.
They'll give you some. They'll give you some numbers.
When they give you
but
the receipt.
when they give you the receipt, figure out learn your numbers. Because let me ask you this: what's your long-term plan with plumbing?
So eventually open up my own business.
To open up your own business?
Yeah.
Brian, you got any words for that?
It's a good goal to have.
In 10 years, you're going to look like that guy.
Can only hope. One can only hope. It doesn't come easy.
Your looks will fade, boy.
That would be that would be my advice. Soak up everything.
You can only sell
Yeah.
jobs to lonely housewives with that face for so long, so you better use it.
Yes. Brian, what's some of your advice for the new guy, for the fresh meat?
Well, we mentioned it before. Don't be late. Show up on time.
Show
Basic
initiative.
stuff. That's your first thing of the day is to get there on time. If you're getting late, you're already failed your first job at the day.
Take care of your tools.
You know, take care of your tools. Don't be afraid to spend money on tools. Good tools bring you a long way.
Don't be afraid to spend my money on your tools.
Phil's by. I'll give you a list of everything I need. You know, I'll split it with you.
What's your advice? Come on, you're considered almost vet right now.
I would say make friends with the younger generation
Yeah.
because that's who you're going to grow up with.
Yeah.
And you always want to have, if you plan on working in this area or close to this area, you always want to have good relationships. It's huge. I mean, how many times do we use other plumbers for advice, to help on jobs, things that can get out of hand, a customer that you can't get to that's a long-time customer, but you want to have somebody you trust? I don't really have too many people that are my age that are around this area, but if you see people that are your age that are getting into the trade, make friends with them. Make friends with them because you'll learn from them. They learn different at other companies too, and they'll see things that you may not have seen. So,
what do you think about going in a company with like a good friend? Do you think that's a bad idea or no?
No, you mean like getting a job into a company with another friend of yours, or like your friend owns a company? And
I'm saying like, because a lot of the kids like I'm going to school with right now, they all want to open businesses too. So I'm saying like later down the line, if me and someone else like want to open together, do you think that's a bad idea or no?
I wouldn't open with anybody.
No, you wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't.
I'll give you some advice on that, but let him say what he wants to say first.
I mean, everybody has a different relationship, and I guess, if you feel comfortable with it, that's one thing. But for me, I wanted to open my business. I have a vision of what I want to do, where I want my business to be. And I don't want to have to. I open my own business so I don't have to answer to anybody. Yeah. Once you have a partner now, you only have 50% of the say. So
I could see the positives of that.
Yeah.
I will say, I mean, listen, I would partner with you if it came down to it. But I will say this. If you're going to open a business with another buddy, don't let your buddy take care of stuff and you take care of other stuff. You know everything. Don't say, okay, my buddy's going to take care of this half and I'm going to take care of this half. Yeah. You better know the ins and outs of both halves. Don't leave anything to another guy. Even I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your brother, dude. And I love my brother.
Sometimes it's worse. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's worse when it's your brother, when it's your family. I mean,
yeah. Well, I've heard horror stories about that stuff. So know all the ins and outs. Don't let him.
It really depends on your relationship with the person. Yeah. I mean, you can trust a person, but you can only trust them to a certain point. You hear horror stories all the time, obviously, of people. I've known this person since I was in grade school, but as long as you have a similar vision and you trust the person, you can, I guess, test the waters.
Money could change people.
Money does change people.
How many times, a father will pass away and now the siblings no longer talk. Yeah. Everybody was such a close family. Yep. This guy passed away and left this one more than that one. Now people aren't talking. It's
the most ridiculous thing.
Money and stuff, it changes the way people think.
I got him hooked on Judge Judy already.
Yeah.
Like, you put the episode on, I'm like, I'm like, all right, this is a thing now.
So we watched, Brian, I don't know if you know this, but I watched, before Max started, I watched Judge Judy every day on lunch. And then Max started, and we lunched together for the first time, and I put on Judge Judy. He's like, we're going to watch Judge Judy? I was like, yeah, we're going to watch Judge Judy.
Was that he was slurping over Judge Judy.
Yeah, you can't even hear it.
2 weeks later,
soup over there?
2 weeks later, he's putting on Judge Judy. So me and Vinny stop at Wendy's to go to the next job. And I'm like, let me just down my burgers and I put on Judge Judy while we're waiting. And he starts laughing. I was like, just you wait. Half through the episode, he's like, just staring at the phone like all about it.
What
He's
did
like,
she
hold on. I want to see what happens. Click the next episode.
Get into it.
I love that woman.
She's good.
You watch Parks and Rec? Are you a Parks and Rec guy?
No, I'm not.
There's a line in there, and I use it all the time for Judge Judy. I want to travel the world with her. She's the most miserable person I've ever met. I want to travel the world with her.
You guys would be good together.
Oh, so Vinny, let me ask you, what made you want to get into plumbing and not electrical or something else?
I went to not to change subject. I went to my first electrical supply today because I had to get a fuse, fuse for a boiler.
Did you go Feldman?
No, I was in Hawthorne.
Okay.
I needed a 3.15 amp fuse.
For what?
So, a boiler, a Loch Navar boiler. Blower motor.
Okay.
So I went in there, and the first thing I said is, I'm like, this is what the woman's story looks like. So, yeah, that's why he's a plumber.
You do oil?
Well, not really. Well,
No?
I have oil at my house.
What do you have the oil? You'll put in the boiler and you'll have the oil company hook up the feed?
No, I mean, if I put in an oil boiler, I'll hook it up and everything.
Do you not have gas running up? I know
don't have gas.
West Milford is... You're in West Milford, right?
No, I'm in Oakland.
But
okay. Yeah, I don't have gas. I have oil. I have an oil boiler.
Let's tell everyone where Brian lives. So when you're coming down... No, I'm just kidding.
That's where my business is.
141.
Yep, there it is. You'll see it.
What did I ask you just now? Why plumbing?
Well, honestly, first I didn't want it. I want to do carpentry because my friend's dad was a general contractor, and I was like, he's building all these crazy houses. Like, that looks cool. But then the carpentry class didn't accept me, and plumbing was second up. So I was like, I'll try it. And it's like, ever since, I just stuck with it.
What do you mean they didn't accept you?
So, like, in the class, there's only like 24 slots open.
Oh, they didn't have room.
They didn't have room. So plumbing was the next option. I was like, all right, I'll try it.
Things work out.
Yeah.
Auto mechanic school was too expensive for me. I didn't know anybody who was in the electrical trades. And then, you were third option. Big boy.
I'll tell you the true story why he came into plumbing. He's going to say, no, this is not true, but it's true. I remember it.
Let's hear.
I go, so why'd you pick plumbing? He goes, honestly, and he was young. He was a young little.
He didn't know any better.
He was a young little spry boy. He goes, honestly, no, he didn't say that. He goes, I was in the shower, and I'm all the way on the third floor taking a shower, and I'm just amazed that the hot water's coming up, and I just wanted to. And later I find out he didn't want to do plumbing. He wanted to be an electrician, but he couldn't get a job with an electrician. I was like, you lying little sack of. Dude, plumbing's where it's at. I'm telling you, it's the most expensive trade, and here's why. Our overhead is by far the most. Our insurance is the highest. Our workman's comp is the highest. I just got my workman's comp bill for this year. What highway effing robbery?
And now, how many guys do you have on that?
2.
Oh boy,
He's not even on yet. What is it? It's 14 grand for the year. We have no accidents.
You need to do a zoom in on his face on the podcast, rethinking everything now.
Bro, the money is out there, but listen, the cost gets transferred to the customer. And you know how many plumbers don't realize that? They're like, oh, I'll eat this, or I'll eat that. No. Do you think Amazon eats cost?
No.
Everything gets pushed to the customer. Of
course it
everything. And I tell the customers when they get sticker shock, I'm like, sorry, what do you want me to do? Yeah. I have to live in this area as well. I'm not commuting from southwestern Pennsylvania. It's not happening. Okay? Yeah. I have to live here too. Mm-hmm. I have to pay taxes here too. So like, I don't know, what do you want me to tell you? Vote better. Okay? How about that? Vote better. Anyway. All right, now that's done. Sorry, Vin, you actually really haven't talked much. What else do you want to touch base on? You got a girlfriend? No? Good. You don't want to start out in the new industry with a girlfriend.
He is the girlfriend. You get it? You want some good advice? Go to Sephora, buy some nice lipstick. It'll get you real far in this industry.
Oh, God.
Do you like blonde or brunette better?
No, you're going to... Listen, so this is how I started in the trades. I started building high-end swimming pools. And the first 2-3 years, it's just relentless ball busting until things start clicking. And then you'll start gaining a little bit of authority. Like, not authority, but like...
Yes.
What is the word?
It is
authority. Like, you start knowing things. You're able to answer questions. You walk into a house in confidence. A customer, you'll be able to tell a customer something in confidence, and it'll start clicking. Yeah. And then that's where the dynamics start shifting. But until then, bro, it's just relentless ball busting.
You really need to hire somebody that's under you. Yeah. You're no longer the low man on the totem pole.
That's the goal.
That's why Max is so happy.
It took Max 8.5 years to be the low man on the totem pole. Imagine going through that.
Go get my pipe wrench, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
First time you stood him to get some. Yeah.
He goes, okay, I'm going to let you in. When you guys were doing that boiler block swap, I go down there to meet them at the job. So I put, that had to be your first job.
That was my first boiler, yeah.
First boiler. And Max is like, he's now as a helper.
Yep.
And he goes, and I walk downstairs and Vinny's outside at the truck. What?
I'm just listening.
Vinny's outside of the truck. He goes, I'll tell you something. It's so nice to have somebody go run through the truck. He's like, that's the greatest thing in the world.
For 8.5 years, it was me.
Yeah.
And he just, and now over the last year and a half, he just does like that. And I'm like, oh, I could
break that finger.
Deliver one of these right into his suckle.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Shh, go out. No. Yep. You know what you should be doing.
And now it's just nice. And you know what? I'll say this. I'll give you a compliment, Vin. What I said to him when he asked how you were going to work out, I said, I think he's good because the moment you came in, whenever I was working, even if I wasn't having you work on something, you were always cleaning it.
I'm always trying to do something.
Always cleaning up. And I said, okay, that's something unique because I've had other guys where they're just standing there watching, twiddling their thumbs, and they're no help. Even if I'm not giving you something to do, there is something to do. I mean, I came out to my truck the other day, and instead of everything just being tossed onto the truck, it was placed nicely. Even, I had to clean up the truck, but everything was placed nicely. It wasn't just like, you know,
Max is
tossed
gonna
on
start
there.
crying right now.
So
It was beautiful.
yeah,
It's nice to have that, bro. I'm telling, like, so one of your buddies came in and he interviewed with me today because he's getting out of school with you too. And I said this to you, but I reiterated to him, like, I will teach anybody plumbing. I don't care what it is. I will teach you plumbing. Anybody can learn to do this if they want to learn it. What you can't learn is the dynamic to speak to customers and make them comfortable, joke around, make them feel important. Like, some people, like, they just don't have that.
Yeah.
Do I have a personality?
You have a personality. I see a little bit of it. You're still learning. And I'll tell you one thing.
Got some red.
you're
What
Italian. You have to have a personality. You're born with personality. There's no.
What generation are you?
I don't
You
really
don't
know.
know.
How old are you?
What
18.
year were you born?
2006.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. 2006.
2006. So what is that? Gen Z? That's Gen Z, right? That's the
I
ones that
don't
say
know.
stupid skibbity toilet and shit like that.
Yeah, all that.
What is that, bro? Some kid goes. So I have a group of friends out in Pennsylvania. They're all, and everyone's got kids, and all the kids come together. And one of the young kids runs up to me. He's like, Phil, you know what? I bet you don't know what skibbity toilet means. And I just look at him, and I just clocked him in the middle of the face. Get out of here, you 8-year-old.
Nice. Make
I ain't got no tolerance for that crap. But the funny thing was, I did, and then I started using all the language. He goes and he's like, "Well, how do we? Yeah, get out of here." Ain't got no patience for you.
No.
Call me when you're 18 when you need a job.
When you're ready to dig.
Any advice for this guy? This young
hard.
buck?
Just work hard. Sky's the limit. It's, a lot of money to be made, but it's not going to come easy.
I'll tell you, here's my last piece of advice. And not because it's my company, but I would treat this place like it's your own.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm going to give you some insider information. And I'll say this, make all your mistakes here.
Well, preferably not make mistakes, but
Preferably not make mistakes.
Everybody
But make your mistakes here, dude. Like, learn, if you're serious about opening up your own business, learn everything you can. Learn the pricing. Listen to the way I talk to customers. I know that you're going to probably roll your eyes, but I tell you all the time, like, listen to my tone when I speak to customers. Like, I have a great rapport with customers. My eyes are dry. No. Just soak it all up. And I wish I was your age when I got into the business. I'll tell you that much. I'm 55 now, bro. Like, no, I'm not.
I was going to say, wait a minute. Are you really 55?
You really thought I was 55? Nobody said anything. I'm offended.
You know why?
I'm offended that
how old
nobody.
are you?
43.
We had a very.
How old are you?
41. I'm a young
Wow,
buck.
you made the cross into the 40.
I did.
Now everything hurts.
I mean, it didn't always hurt. That's the part of the game.
What were you gonna say?
No, I said we had an old customer that I can see it like how like it was like a gut punch. We had a 7-year-old customer come when we came into the house and said to him, "Didn't I go to school with you?"
The customer was he had to be 72 years old.
Yeah,
I was like, did I go to high school with you?
like wife is in a walker type age. All right,
Like, how old do you think I am?
That is
Are you
awesome.
serious?
That is
you know how you know you can read
fantastic.
somebody just by the look on their face. He looked at me at the same time he said that, and it was just like one lonely tear.
I was like, all right, this guy's getting 20% increase on his bill.
Oof, that hurt.
Does that hurt?
Yeah, it's a big one.
I'm like, how dare you, sir?
Did we go to school
How
together?
dare you, sir?
I look good.
Oh, what do you guys say? What else we want to touch base on? Anything else we want to talk about? Vin, what are you excited about? What job do you really want to learn?
want to learn?
Say boilers. Boilers are where it's at.
No, you know what I actually learn? The water filters. That I want to learn.
That one too. Yeah, that's a good
What do you
one.
learn?
Well, the
Like how to
installs,
install.
how to sell them.
Selling them.
You know what PFAAs are?
You need to.
What microplastics are?
Yeah.
Hexavalent chromium, uranium,
Nope.
magnesium. You know,
Horrible
all that stuff.
science.
All that stuff is in our water.
He's a science geek. He is. You're gonna learn that. You're gonna learn a lot from him.
I had to
he's
do
a
water
science
chemistry
nerd.
for pools. That's how I know this stuff.
Know all that shit.
Like the laminar index and all that stuff. So you can sell. I'm telling you, Bro, our water's poison. Folks, your water is poison. It is. It's poison in Bergen County.
I'm not saying that it's not. It's been poison
You've
for
seen
years.
Aaron Brockovich, right?
No.
What?
I'm not a movie guy. Really.
Uncultured swine.
I work a lot, man.
Bro, Aaron Brockovich is a whole true story about this water company that was putting poisonous chemicals in the water supply, but they were telling the customers that it was good for them. Hexavalent chromium, it eats through your body from the inside
That's
out.
everything that we buy.
Bro, we have that reading in our water.
But Brando gives you the electrolytes you need.
But Brando got what plants crave. Water filtration, good answer. Good answer. Good answer. Let's see it on the board. Anyway.
Show me cow.
All right, folks, listen. Bryan Diorio, Diorio Plumbing and Heating, 201-819-1408, DiorioPlumbing.com. Check him out on Facebook, and if you call him, you get this beautiful, juicy bear right at your front door. And folks, you will see Vinny with us on the road coming up in the next couple months. Vin, I got good feelings about Vinny.
It's Wario and Waluigi.
I would be Luigi, right?
Folks, I want to remind you that Plum Bums is sponsored by Jigsaw, jigsawpmr.com. Go check them out online. Water, fire, sewer, mold. They will come in, take care of any damage to your house. Soup to nuts. They got all the special tools. Go check them out online. Otto Catatius, follow him on Instagram. They always follow, they broadcast their cleanup story on Instagram and Facebook, so go check them out. jigsawpmr.com. Also want to remind you that Plum Bums is sponsored by the New Jersey State League of Master Plumbers. Excellent association. They'll get in there. Every plumber, Brian, you got to join an association, I'm telling you. We'll get you in. Join an association. If you're a tradesman, join your local association. It gives you a voice because, let's be honest, all politicians care about is their donors. They don't care about us.
Nope.
They don't care about the small business guy. So get in there, get into a group, get your voice heard. New Jersey State League of Master Plumbers. We want to remind you to like, share, subscribe, share the reels. We could really use it. Also, if you're interested in being on the show, you're going to go to quartzplumbing.com, click the podcast link, follow the application, and fill that out to be a guest. We're always looking for small business owners, entrepreneurs, any type of small business go-getter type guy will get you on the, or woman will get you on the show. We'll delve into your business. Basically one long commercial for you. But folks, as always, thank you for watching, and we will see you here next time.